In today's tutorial, we're going to create a Chinese New Year lens because Chinese New Year is on Saturday and it's an exciting time for those of us here in Malaysia because it's a huge celebration here. And for those of you who don't really know what is Chinese New Year, it's actually the New Year according to the Chinese traditional calendar. And this year is the year of the rat. So it's supposed to bring a lot of prosperity to all the zodiac signs, almost all the zodiac signs, I think. And we're going to create something like a rat lens slash with the Chinese New Year frame. Alright, so it's going to be a very simple lens, and for that I've created a few assets here. Alright, so I have a CNY frame just to put it around my lens, and then I have the rat slash mouse nose. Alright, and I have the ear. Okay, so let's click on Lens Studio, and for today's tutorial I'm going to use the distort template because I want my eyes to be a little bit bigger for this lens so that it looks cute. So click on that, and you will see this. Okay, so you can change the person here if you want, or you can actually just click on webcam to see yourself in the preview panel. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in the assets. So I'm just going to drag and drop this so that it'll be just easier for me later on. Alright, so I don't have to see these for now. Okay, let's close that. Alright, make this bigger. Okay, so for the distort, alright, for the distortion, I don't really want my mouth and my cheeks and my face to be so distorted. So most probably I'm just going to delete this. But if you do want your mouth to be distorted, you can actually just click on face inset, and you can play around with the sizes here. Alright, but in this case for today, I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to also delete the face stretch. So face stretch means if you click on this and if I'm going to pull this, it makes my cheeks bigger. And then if let's say I'm going to pull this, it makes my face longer. Okay, so that's how it affects your face. But I don't want that also. So I'm just going to delete this. So the only thing I'm going to work with today, that I'm going to change my features, is only going to be for the eyes. After a lot of experiment, I thought that if I'm going to change the radius to 1 and the intensity to 1.6, it would be something that I would like. But you guys can of course change the numbers and see what suits you. So I'm just going to change this to 1 and 1.6. So my eyes is a little bit bigger, but not that big. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to close this up so that you don't get confused. Go over to the Objects panel and click on Add New. So the first thing we're going to do is here we're going to put in the frame. So let me just go all the way down. You'll see something called Legacy Billboard. Legacy Billboard would be like a billboard around your frame that is static. So you click on that, and you can go over. Okay, wait, let's rename this first. Rename it to frame. Click on that, and then go over to the inspector panel, and you'll see something called texture default. So click on default, find your frame, and if you notice in this case it might be different, but actually this frame is according to the size of our phones. So maybe the simulation is different, so I'm just going to change this to iPhone 8. Looks good, right? So once that's done, so we have the billboard already. The next thing we're going to add is of course the ear and the mouth slash nose. You have to remember that this is going to track your face, so it has to be a face tracker. For that you have to find for something called a face image. Okay, so it's binded to your head. Alright, let's rename this to mouth. Okay, click on that. Again, go over to the inspector panel, click on texture default and change it to the mouth. Okay, so you can make it bigger here. Just adjust it. Alright. The next thing we're going to do is that we're going to add in the ears. So for me to add in the ears, usually you can just click on this and duplicate it. That's one way of doing it. Alright, so if I'm going to rename this as left ear, click on that, go over to the texture, change it to ear, press OK, and I can move my ears up. That would work. Or I can click. That would work. And then for the right ear, I'm going to duplicate the left ear, rename it right ear. Oops. And then I'm going to move it to the other side. Alright, so notice that it's in the wrong direction, right? So you can just rotate it a little bit, or you can actually flip it outside of Lens Studio. It's up to you, but I've created it enough to rotate it. Yeah, okay. Okay, alright, so that's done. So my ears are done. Click on this, change it a little bit. Once that's done, the next thing we're going to add is we're going to add a little bit of sparkle. Alright, so what's a lens without a sparkle, right? So if you have the Giphy plugin here, you can click on that and search for sparkle. Okay, let's see something that's nice. You don't want it to overpower your lens, so don't find one that is like this. Find something that is subtle and nice, and it would just add a little bit of sparkle to your lens. So okay, this is what I like. So I click on the plus sign here. All the way down, you'll see add as resource. So click on that. So you can add it straight, but I would rather add it as a resource so that it will be easier for me to handle it. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to add new. And since this is just an image that's not going to move along with your face, we can add it under legacy, billboard, or another one would be, if you go all the way up, you can also add it under image object. So let's click on image object. Oops, stick it out. Should go under camera, sorry. Change this to this. And let's make it smaller because I have no idea why is it this big. Okay, so you can click on this and you can make it bigger. Okay, so to add your sparkle, what we're going to do here is that we're going to go to add new. And since it's something that's going to be static also on our screen, we can add it under legacy billboard. So click on legacy billboard. Let's add this as sparkle 1. So we can add a few in different locations so that it doesn't look like you have only one. Click on that. Go to the inspector panel, texture default, and click on New Year sticker. Alright, so let's just make this smaller. Smaller. I'm just going to paste it here. So you can either put it in front of your ear or behind your ear. So it just depends on where you're going to move around your frame. So I'm going to duplicate this, bring it down so that I have sparkles here also, and I'm gonna duplicate this and bring it to the right and left so that I can have sparkles here also. And of course you can change the alpha here so that it will be a little bit transparent. It's not so obvious that it's there. Okay, same thing goes for sparkle 2. And sparkle 1. Alright, okay, so once that's done, you can actually add more sparkles if you want all over your face, but this is enough for me. Once that's done, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to write Happy Chinese New Year. Okay, so go to your object panel, add new, and you will see something called screen text here. Alright, so once you have a screen text, you can actually change your text here in your inspector panel. So I'm going to write Happy Chinese New Year. And if you want to change your font, you can do so. So let's just put this a little bit lower. Okay. So it's either you press size to fit. So once you click on size to fit, automatically it becomes like this. But if you want it to be the other way around, you can also untick that. Alright, so you can change your font size according to what you want. But before changing your font size, you can actually find for your custom font. So there's a lot of fonts here, or you can even upload fonts. But for today, I think I'm going to use the Amatic SC as my font, because it looks very Chinese New Year-y. Alright, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, about 55 should be okay, or 60. Alright, okay, so now you go lower a bit and you will see the color of your font. You can actually change the color here if you want to. I like it as white, but just to show you all, I can actually change this to red or plum, anything you want. So I'm just going to stick to white, which is no. And if you go lower, you will see something called outline. Alright, so you can click on outline, and the outline's color can be changed also. So you can change this to mocha, anything that you like. But I like it as black. And another thing that you have to notice is something called drop shadow. So when you have drop shadow, it's like you have a glow behind your words. So this is also another option, and I like this. So I'm just going to keep this as black. Again, you can change the colors here. Of course, you can move this around. See which color suits you the most. But I really like it when it's in black, because the words pop out, you see. Alright. So once you're done with that, don't forget to push your lens. Alright, don't forget to push your lens to your device. It's a 3D scene, this is a 2D scene. Okay, so don't forget to push your lens to your device, and you'll be able to try it out before you publish it. So click on this, push your lens, try it on, and then go over to your project info. Don't forget to change the name here to Happy Chinese New Year or Happy CNY. And then what is the lens made for? Front camera, rear camera. Sometimes you can make it for Spectacles 3, which is a new one by Snap. And then you can add a hint, maybe smile, and change your icon here and just press apply. So remember that your size should be less than 4 MB. And once you're done, just click on publish lens and go ahead and publish the lens. Alright, so that's all for today. Hope you guys liked this tutorial. If you found it informative and you really liked it, don't forget to share and subscribe, as I'll be putting more tutorials online on Lens Studio and Spark AR. See you in the next video.